A lot of great events happening over the next few days here in Baton Rouge, but let's talk about how the city is doing. Roll it, Kyle. If you ask this lady what district in East Baton Rouge Parish is the best district, you wouldn't even be able to finish the question before you got the answer. And obviously, she represents that district. District 10, by the way, if you're keeping score. Councilwoman Carolyn Coleman, one of my favorite people, is back on the show to talk about how the parish is doing and to brag on your district. Let's just get that out of the way first, because I know that's coming up. So
out of the way. District 10, the only one I know, the best district there is, the district that everyone wants.
We were in a meeting at City Hall earlier this week, and I just love the enthusiasm you have for representing your district. Tell me what makes you so enthusiastic about representing your folks.
The opportunities that exist, the appreciation that exists once I've represented, once I've served, once I've met their needs, once I've answered their yes that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we talked about this before, about how the parish is doing. We're moving into the time of the year where kids are going to be getting out of school. We customarily, not just here, but around the country, we see spike in crime because kids don't have anything to do. They're not in school during the day. You've also seen a number of infrastructure investments made in the parish. How is EBR doing right now from your perspective?
Well, from my perspective, I believe that we as a parish, that we're moving forward. Mm-hmm. Now, are we where we really want to be? No, but it's step by step. I dare not say that there's any other place that's any better to live than Baton Rouge, but we've just got to perfect some things.
We were in a meeting also, and Dina Christie, who's going to be on a little bit later, was in the meeting for a new initiative that the mayor is going to be announcing, and we did a deep dive, or they did a deep dive for us into both the poor and the working poor, the people who are maybe a paycheck away from being in a bad situation. The numbers were jarring, Councilwoman. Absolutely. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I agree with exactly what you've just said, and that is that the working poor, plenty of the folk that really serve that population could really receive services.
Right.
And so you've got folk that are in need of the services that they have for folk. And so this is something that we have are taking a look at to see what is it that we can do in order to make this just a bit better here in Baton Rouge.
You know, getting the resources to that population seems to be the challenge. It's not a lack of services or even in some cases resources. It's, as you and I talked about, connecting the two sides. Why has that been so hard?
Well, folk must understand, the people that are in the positions who have the services in their hand, they've got to understand a concept. And that concept is, if you give me a fish, I'm going to eat for one day. But if you teach me how to fish, if you grab me, if you walk me along, if you show me the resources, then some fish bones can be put in the trash can. Do you hear me? Some things can happen. And so it is very important that we understand, if they understood, if they knew where the services were, they wouldn't need us. But it's of utmost importance that we do that.
You know, they gave us numbers. They talked about youth not in school or working in East Baton Rouge Parish, nearly 8.5%. 19% of households have food insecurities, 17% health insecurities, 11% of our senior population is living in poverty. Children under 5 living in poverty, the number that they can count is over 12,000, nearly 13,000. DHDS, Department of Human Development and Service, they're serving almost 7,500 households, and only 497 of those households have adults in there who are actually working, who are actually receiving money from a paycheck. And ALICE, which is a concept that George Bell talked about in our meeting. It's a United Way construct, and it's asset limited, income constrained, employed population, 52.4%. So, and there's real work going on. I got a little less than a minute. There's real work going on to address this population, but how do so many people fall through the cracks?
Those numbers are daunting. Resources are there, but that connectivity is the key to all of this. And then everything must connect. I have a summer program that I will, I say 6 weeks, but really 24 days, Monday through Friday, for the children in District 10. And in addition to that, you have the opportunities for children to even work in the summer there, and I'm gonna connect all of that together in order to make something happen with these numbers.
I want you to come back because you got to talk about burgers and brews. Can I schedule to come back talk about this?
Please, please, and
This
be
is my
ready.
This is my ticket, right?
That's your ticket, and be ready for a hand-patted burger. Not talking about anything frozen.
Back in a moment.